Hey there, Math 7 students. Today we need to talk about exponents. So, first things first. A power is a product of repeated factors, okay? The base of a power is the repeated factor, and the exponent of a power indicates the number of times the base is used as a factor. So the number of times it's multiplied together, right? So 1/4 is our base here. The exponent is 5. The power is 1/4 to the 5th power. And if we were writing this out, it would, without an exponent, right, it means 1/4 times 1/4 times 1/4 times 1/4 times 1/4 times 1/4. Boom. So we need to practice writing products using exponents and evaluating expressions. So here we go. If I have 3 times 3 times 3 times 3, what's my base? My base is the thing that's repeated, and so that's 3. And how many times is it repeated? 1, 2, 3, 4. And so this would be 3 to the 4th power. Boom, that's your answer, right? 3 to the 4th power. Okay, well, what about something like this? -2 times -2 times x times x times x. Okay, we've got multiple factors here, so we need to take it one step at a time. Let's deal with the -2's. The -2's has parentheses around them, so I'm going to keep those parentheses. Parentheses are important, people. Parentheses are important. Okay, so -2, how many times is it repeated? It is repeated twice, so my exponent for the -2 is 2. And my next factor is x, and how many times is that repeated? 1, 2, 3. 3 times. And so we would write this as -2 squared times x to the 3rd power. Okay, pretty straightforward, right? That's what I thought. Let's move on to evaluating the expressions. Now, we need to be careful with negative signs when we are squaring them or raising them to any power, really. This right here, -3 squared, means -3 times -3 because the negative is inside the parentheses and the exponent is outside the parentheses. So it's saying multiply what's in the parentheses by itself 2 times. So -3 times -3 would be a positive 9 because a negative times a negative is a positive, right? Now, what if we have -3 squared? Notice there are no parentheses. So this means, what this means here is square the 3 and then take the negative. In other words, I'm going to write it like this. The opposite of 3 times 3. The negative is not repeated because it's not included in the parentheses. And so your answer here, a -3 times a positive 3, is -9, right? And I know that you are not believing me a little bit, or you may not be believing me. So I'm pulling out the handy dandy calculator. If I type in here -3 squared, just like that, I get -9. But if I have parentheses, -3 and parentheses squared, right? What does that equal? +9. Okay, so when you are entering these things into your calculator, you need to be very careful. You need to be careful when you are writing them down. You just need to be careful all around, okay? Let's do a few more problems. Here, this says evaluate the expressions, and we've got some minus signs and multiplication, we've got division, addition going on here. And this is an important time to remind you of the order of operations, right? Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, or PEMDAS, right? Parentheses, exponents, multiplication and division, addition and subtraction from left to right, right? So, if we're evaluating 2 minus 4 times 5 squared, are there any parentheses? No. Okay, exponents. Exponents are what we need to deal with next. So I'm going to erase the order of operations real quick. So it'd be 2 minus 4 times, what is 5 squared? 5 times 5 is 25. And then we would do, okay, so there's no more exponents, then multiplication and division. So multiply. What's 4 times 25? That's right, it would be 100. So this becomes 2 minus 100, which would be negative 98. Negative 98. Okay? All right. Let's move on to the next example. We have 5 plus 6 squared divided by 4. Are there any parentheses? No. Exponents? Yes. 6 squared. So we will write this as 5 plus, what is 6 squared? 6 times 6 is 36. And then we write down divided by 4. Okay. So we dealt with the exponents. What is next? Multiplication and division. Okay, so we'll deal with this next. What's 36 divided by 4? 36 divided by 4 is 9. And 5 plus 9 is 14. Good. Okay, last problem for today. Parentheses. Oh, we have parentheses. But within the parentheses, we do have an exponent. So we actually need to deal with this guy first before we can deal with the parentheses. So this will be negative 2 times 32 minus, what is 6 squared? That's 36, right? Well, now we will deal with the parentheses. 32 minus 36 would be negative 4. So we have negative 2 times negative 4, and negative 2 times negative 4 would be positive 8. Positive 8. Okay, there we go. That's today's lesson on exponents. I hope that you are well. I'll see you next time.